And now for our next news special report.
And now we're tearing off the veil of media manipulation to expose a truth the mainstream won't tell you. Imagine a scenario where the safety of our nation hangs by a thread, where political games overshadow hard facts and where bold voices like Governor Kristi Noem stand as sentinels against the tide of misinformation. This isn't just a story, it's a battleground for the truth unfolding at our very borders. Amidst the chaos, Texas takes a stand, the Border Patrol Union defies the norm, and a DHS chief faces the music of impeachment. But why should you stay to the end? Because in my final thought, I'll reveal the core issue that connects all these dots, a revelation that every American needs to hear. So stay with us. This is a report you cannot afford to miss. Before we dive deeper, let's talk real quick about something crucial. Think of our border crisis like a body plagued by unchecked problems. Just like excess belly fat pressuring vital organs, unchecked border policies press hard on our nation's security. And that's why, much like our fight against dangerous fat, with science-backed solutions from Trim with Gary, we need strong, effective measures to secure our borders. And these policies should reduce illegal crossings, just as our sponsor's product helped reduce unwanted fat. Remember, for a healthier, safer nation, both require immediate action. And get 51% off at trimwithgary.com and join us in taking a stand for security and health. Now let's get back to the heart of our nation's border issues. Our story begins at the front lines of American security and sovereignty, the southern border. Here, the unfolding drama isn't just a political squabble, it's a vivid portrayal of a nation grappling with its core values and responsibilities. And Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota recently made headlines during a fiery exchange on CNN's State of the Union. Host Dana Bash, in a clear attempt to shift blame away from President Biden, asked Noem about the administration's failing border policies. Well, Noem was undeterred, delivered a blistering response highlighting the Biden administration's inaction and its devastating consequences. It was a moment of clarity, cutting through the media spin. Watch.
Should your former Republican colleagues in Congress support that deal?
Why doesn't President Biden take action today? I mean, today can be day one. He can immediately announce that he's reinstating the stay in Mexico policy. He can immediately announce that he's going to refocus on building a wall. He can do those today. I listened to Nancy Pelosi talk earlier. She's been in Congress for decades and has talked about immigration for decades. And what has she accomplished? We have a president that has all the tools that he needs to protect our country today, and he's refusing to do that. So to look at Congress and expect them to pass a bill when they failed for decades to do this, and then to say we have to accept this poison pill of a bill that it essentially codifies illegal immigration. What it would do is put into statute that people can now come here illegally, and is just a terrible bill that I think President Trump is exactly right. It should not pass, and push President Biden to take action.
We've got laws on the books. Let's just use those, right? Why put something in Congress, like she said, a poison pill? What are they going to pack in that bill that's going to destroy this country further? Her stance is a stark contrast to the narrative often pushed by the mainstream media. She refuses to sugarcoat the reality. Our border is in crisis, and the Biden administration's policies, or lack thereof, are to blame. And her words aren't just rhetoric, they're a call to action, a demand for accountability at the highest levels of government. Now, moving to Texas, the Lone Star State, remains a bastion of defiance against the federal government's passive approach. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has taken bold steps to secure the border, actions that resonate with those on the ground, including all those truckers who are heading to that border. The Border Patrol Union, representing the brave men and women tasked with protecting our borders, has echoed this sentiment. In the defiant message you see here, they made it clear they stand with Texas. On X, Border Patrol Union stated, rank-and-file BP agents are not going to start arresting Texas NG members for following their lawful orders. That's fake news. Texas National Guard and rank-and-file Border Patrol agents work together and respect each other's jobs, period. If Texas National Guard members have lawful orders, then they will have to carry out those orders. Now, they appreciate the state's efforts to curb illegal immigration, a clear rebuke of the Biden administration's policies. So this isn't just about Texas or the Border Patrol, it's about the rule of law and the safety of our nation. But the story doesn't end there. In a move that signals the heightening tensions and the severity of the situation, a House panel has unveiled articles of impeachment against Alejandro Mayorkas. Though this isn't a decision made lightly, it's a response to what many see as a willful disregard for the law and a breach of public trust. These articles of impeachment aren't just political maneuvers, they are a reflection of a deep-seated concern for the direction in which our country is headed under the current administration. Now, the charges against Mayorkas are severe. They include a systemic refusal to comply with the law and making false statements to Congress. This is about more than one individual. It's about holding those in power accountable for their actions or inactions that have a profound impact on the lives of millions of Americans. As we delve deeper into the crisis, it's important to understand the gravity of the situation. The southern border isn't just a line on the map. It is the front line in a battle for the security and integrity of our nation. The policies implemented or dismantled by the Biden administration have consequences that extend far beyond the border states. They affect every American, whether it's through increased drug trafficking, the strain on our social services, or the erosion of the rule of law. Governor Noam and Governor Abbott aren't just political figures. They are voices of reason in a cacophony of partisan noise. They stand for the principles that have guided this republic since its inception: law and order, sovereignty, and the protection of its citizens. As we witness this unfolding saga, it's crucial to remember the real heroes in this narrative, the men and women of the Border Patrol. They work tirelessly, often under challenging and dangerous conditions, to enforce the laws of our land. Their commitment to their duty, despite the political crosswinds, deserves our utmost respect and support. The impeachment of Mayorkas is a significant development, and they cannot be ignored or downplayed. Watch.
DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas have just been released.
Peter Ducey joins us now with all the details. Hi, Peter.
And Carly, this is not something that's going to get pulled down by the House if the Senate border negotiations take a turn, because they're not happy in the House with the Senate border negotiations. And besides, in these official articles of impeachment, they are accusing Mayorkas of lying to them. Here's a key quote from the articles. It says, Alejandro and Mayorkas knowingly made false statements to Congress that the border is secure, that the border is no less secure than it was previously, that the border is closed, and that DHS has operational control of the border. And then there's this, quote, throughout his tenure as Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro N. Mayorkas has repeatedly violated laws enacted by Congress regarding immigration and border security. In large part because of his unlawful conduct, millions of aliens have illegally entered the United States on an annual basis, with many unlawfully remaining in the United States. His refusal to obey the law is not only an offense against the separation of powers in the Constitution of the United States, it also threatens our national security. And now, the Homeland Security Committee's chairman, Mark Green, is breaking it down like this. He says about Mayorkas, he has breached the public trust by knowingly making false statements to Congress and the American people and obstructing congressional oversight of his department. These facts are beyond dispute, and the results of his lawless behavior have been disastrous for our country. DHS is responding to this. They have a brand new statement. It says, this farce of an impeachment is a distraction from other vital national security priorities and the work Congress should be doing to actually fix our broken immigration laws. But that is unlikely to move any of these House Republicans, and the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, says they are going to move to vote on these articles of impeachment for Mayorkas as soon as possible. Back to you.
All right, Peter Ducey.
Let's get it done. So as we wrap up this segment, let's not forget the broader implications of the crisis. It's a reflection of a divided nation, a government struggling to fulfill its most basic duty to protect its citizens. It's a wake-up call for those in power to listen to the voices of those tasked with upholding our laws and securing our borders. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. And now, my final thought. As we conclude tonight's report, let's reflect on the gravity of what we have uncovered. It's not just a story about policy disagreements or political posturing. It's a stark reminder of the challenges facing our republic. The southern border crisis symbolizes a broader struggle for the soul of America, where the principles of law and order and national sovereignty are being tested like never before. Governor Kristi Noem's confrontation with media bias, Texas' unwavering stance, the Border Patrol Union's defiant message, and the looming impeachment of DHS Chief Mayorkas, these aren't isolated incidents. They are all interconnected pieces of a larger puzzle that depicts a nation at a crossroads. Now, this story matters because it's more than just about our border. It's about the kind of country we want to be. Do we choose lawlessness or the rule of law? Indifference or inaction? As Americans, our response to these questions will define our future, and that, my friends, is why this story matters to every single one of us. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.